Well, hello and good morning and welcome back to the DIYnanny channel. This video is another mini felt cake replica, but this time we're gonna do it backwards. I'm gonna explain everything in a second, but before we begin, if you're new here, welcome. I'm the DIYnanny and I share DIY, crafts and little hacks that I create in the playroom. You can check out the rest of my videos, and if you like them, please hit that subscribe button. Now let's begin. So next week is my birthday. Actually, for you watching it, I usually post on Saturday, so today is my birthday. Happy birthday, future me. I'm planning to make a cake, a decorated cake for myself to enjoy with some friends today. And I was thinking I can turn it into an episode of mini felt cake replica, but the other way around. So my plan is to design and create a mini felt cake, and from that design to actually bake and decorate my birthday cake. So in truth, it's not really a mini felt cake replica video, it's an actual cake, regular size replica video. The theme that I'm going for in this cake is a tropical kind of cake, but like settle tropical, not too out there. And I do have to take into account a few things. First of all, I'm not like a great actual cake decorator. Let's say that my skills with felt cakes are much superior to my skills on actual whipped cream and decorating and fondant and stuff like that. So I'm gonna build this mini felt cake keeping in mind my abilities at actually creating a cake, because I do want to challenge myself, but I don't want to fail. I want it to look cute and look similar, so I'm gonna take this into account while making the mini cake. One other thing is I don't like using a lot of food coloring while I'm baking, so I'm gonna take it into account while picking my felt colors. I'm gonna choose lighter colors so I don't have to use that much food dye when I make the actual cake. Last thing to take into account is, and I'm not sure it's really something that you should take into account, but I am vegan, so the actual cake gonna be vegan. And I guess there's some limitation, like vegan white chocolate, if I'm gonna work with that, is not exactly working like regular white chocolate. I'm looking for vegan fondant. I think fondant is vegan. I never worked with fondant before actually, but I think it's just like sugar, no? I don't know. I'm gonna look for that. So that's another thing I need to consider. So let's go cut some felt and begin with our mini felt cake. So I cut 2 circles and a base. I'm starting with white because I don't want to use too much food dye. So the base will definitely be white, but I do want to add some colors. So first of all, I made a little purple drip. It's gonna go here. I'm gonna glue it before I'm connecting everything together. It's not gonna go to the whole span of the cake. And this is gonna be kind of the front, so you could see a little bit of drip coming in, but I want to add a bit more color, and I was thinking of adding this, mixing a little bit of orange, but very lightly, with the cream to make something here. I'm gonna cut it by hand, just kind of wavy thing. I'm going with a light color again because I don't want a lot of food dye. And I think I'm gonna go about half of the cake, the bottom half with it. So I'm gonna cut this, glue this to the base and this, sew in the loop in the sewing machine, and then connect bottom and top with a blanket stitch to the base of the cake. So I'm gonna cut in right here. You've seen me doing a blanket stitch like in every video basically. So we can stop and continue from when the cake is ready. So the base of the cake is ready and I'm gonna start on decoration. Now, in my mind, in the design in my mind, I went so far as adding leaves to the bottom. I have no idea what I'm doing on the top. I'm thinking some leaves and some whipped cream, but like beside that, I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll need to like go online and try and inspire myself a little bit. But I'm gonna start with the leaves. I'm gonna put some tropical leaves in the bottom and then try to figure out the top to make it pop. So let's go cut some leaves. So I cut 3 different type of leaves and I think I'm just gonna put them kind of overlapping at the bottom all the way around the cake. So leaves are glue and to finish up just this the body of the cake, let's call it like this, before I figure out the top, I think I'm gonna go over here where the orange whipped cream go on top of the white one and add sprinkles all around with my fabric paint. So I'm gonna do that and then we'll work on the top. So these need to dry a bit more. I put some nail polish while waiting, but I think I'm done with the cake body. I'm loving the vibe. I don't think I need to add anything to it. And most importantly, I think I can pull it off on an actual cake. So I'm gonna leave it like this for now and start working on the top. So for the top, I'm thinking adding some leaves. I might cut them a bit bigger, maybe some flowers, just 2 or 3, not too many. And I did already made these from just a leftover felt I had. I felt like it's going nice with this color, so I just made it and I might use it. But these are the little things. I think I need like a centerpiece. And I was going through some images of tropical cake decorations to just get inspired, and I don't want to go with like a flamingo or any other type of bird or a pineapple or something like that. I saw a lot of these. I think I'm gonna go coconut. I saw a cake or two with like a sliced coconut that you can see the brown part and the white part of the inside, and I think it's gonna work with these colors. For the actual cake, I'm not sure if I can find an actual coconut, and if I'll have to make it out of fondant or something like that, I think I'll be in trouble. But I'll go with that for this. I'm just gonna challenge myself and hopefully I'll find a place that sell actual coconuts. So I'm gonna start on all the decorations, and once the cake is fully dry, all the sprinkles, I'm gonna put it on top, glue everything together, and then I'll have my first cake. And I'll have to start thinking about how I'm gonna go about with the actual cake. So I'm trying to figure out this coconut thing. I've seen some patterns for a ball, and I was thinking if I can make a small ball that half of it is brown and half of it is white, and then kind of push the white fabric in while I'm filling it in a certain way, it could work. So I cut these to make the ball. I'm gonna connect them first together in the machine, like this, obviously. So right side to right side, and I'm gonna do it one after the other, so it will be like in a row, and then I'll go ahead and connect these parts to make the ball, leaving a little opening to fill it and try to flip it. Let's see if it's work. So here it is. I left the brown side open because I figured anyway it's gonna be glued on one of the brown sides, so I can hide my stitches. So yeah, it's definitely not 100% a ball. It looks more like a kiwi, but I think that if we're gonna do this and kind of fill it in a little bit here just to give it a little bit puffiness, and then kind of stitch all of this. When I put it like this, it does look a little bit like a coconut. So I'm gonna try it, see if it works. I must say I'm impressed. This obviously will be hidden because it's gonna be kind of like this on the cake. And yeah, that was a success. Now that I have this, let me show you all the flowers I cut. So I just picked some flowers that look good, and I hid all the contour and just cut as a whole piece. I also have my 2 big leaves that I cut from the felt I got from Amazon, that it's a bit less flexible, so I think it's gonna stand nicely. And for these flowers, I was thinking, I have this little pom-poms. I got it for a different cake actually, maybe next week or the week after that. And I was thinking I can just put it here and kind of glue it like around so it would look better. So I'm gonna do that, and then basically I'm done. I'm gonna glue my leaf, my coconut, my little whipped creams, and we'll have a cake to copy. So I decided there's one more thing I wanted to add to the top. I've seen this kind of fan leaves made out of paper or cardstock that people put on cakes now. And I did create this just to have the size and to see if it's working. I don't want to make it out of paper. It's a toy. I want it to be soft, and also it's just gonna get ruined in like seconds, I think, in the playroom. I do have this golden felt. I'm just wondering if it's gonna keep the shape after I'll fold and glue it. So I'm gonna cut the shape, try to fold it, see if it works. And if it is, we're gonna put it on top of the cake, and then it's finally time to start on the actual cake. So I figured while I'm waiting to start on the cake, I'm gonna make a crown for myself because it's my birthday and I love crowns. I have this wire that I measure to my head. I'm gonna cover it with this bias tape all around. I have leaves that I cut. I have the flowers in a bigger scale. Pom-poms, not exactly the same colors, but that's what I've got. And I have the first try of this leaf that I did. It's a bit small in scale to what I'm doing, but it's what I have left from this felt. So I'm gonna put this all together, and hopefully then it will be time to start on my cake. All right, changing of scenery. I'm in my kitchen because I'm about to bake a cake. It is Thursday night. For some reason, I thought I'll start way earlier than this because I kind of had a thought that fondant will be more forgiving and I'll have more time working with that. I don't know why, I never worked with that before, but after I read about it a little bit and watched some YouTube tutorials and asked friends who work with that as well, I realized I don't have as much time as I think. And I also got very confused. Even now, I'm not 100% sure if I'm supposed to put it in the fridge or leave it out of the fridge in a box or in a Ziploc, if I'm supposed to dry it or let it dry after on the cake. I'm just not really sure what's going on, but this is a learning experience. So next time I'll work with that, I'll know more for sure. What my plan is anyway is to make all the fondant decorations tomorrow, Friday, and put the bottom ones on the cake, put the cake in the fridge, and leave the big top ones in a box outside of the refrigerator. And hopefully this will work. We'll know later if it did. But today I'm gonna bake the cake. I'm baking a coconut cake, just continuing with the tropical theme. But this is not a baking show, and I'm not gonna show you how I'm baking a cake. So why are we here? I decided to try and make the two big leaves that stand on top of the cake from chocolate. I'm not sure if I can make it work with fondant. For some reason, I think, again, I never worked with that, but I think the leaves on the bottom will stick to the cake and they'll hold, and the flowers kind of have a bigger base to sit on, and I feel like the big leaves are very, like, they're flat, they're narrow, they have to stand, and I don't know how fondant dries, so I'm gonna go with chocolate. I made chocolate clouds before that stood like that on a cake, so I'm pretty sure I can do it. I can just color white chocolate, vegan white chocolate in green, and try to make the leaves, and if it fails, I'll still can do it tomorrow with fondant, but I think it's gonna work. I have two cutout of the flowers. I was thinking I'm gonna put parchment paper on top and just go around with the white chocolate that's gonna be green to make the shapes. I also already created this golden leaf that goes kind of behind them in the cake. I made it out of cardstock. This is how it's gonna be on the cake. I'm pretty sure there is a way to make it edible, but I'm not there yet. So this is how it's gonna work. So we're gonna do chocolates today, cake that I'm not gonna share because I don't think it's gonna be interesting. And then tomorrow we'll meet for creams and sprinkles and fondant. Finally open these packages and figure out how to work with that. So changing scenery, number 2. My mixer is not working, so I'm not doing that at home. Also, there's 2 kids here who are done with school for the year, so they're gonna be my little helpers today. So if you see tiny hands working, that's that. Also, I figured fondant is kind of like Play-Doh, so they're probably more experienced than me. Let me show you where we're at because this is not a baking show, so I'm not gonna show all the cake stages, just the decorations. This is where we're at with the cake. I did coffee in between with this caramel chocolate, and then I used the same coffee one. It was kind of light, so I used it on the top, and the bottom we colored that with the Supernatural food colors. So what we have now is the sprinkles around and then a chocolate drip that we're gonna use this purple for it. But let me show you what we're gonna do with the fondant. So I got 4 colors at Michael's and I got this off of Amazon. I might need the white to create another green and definitely an orange. We got these cutters for the leaves around. The chocolate leaf, one of them didn't come out so good, so I might try to do it. And for the flowers, I had cut out as well the same design that I used for the felt, and we're gonna cut around and try to shape it with a little fondant ball in the middle. I'm using the leftover fondant to make the leaf as well, because like I said, one broke from the chocolate. Flowers are okay. We'll figure out how to fix them. So I am finally home after an eventful day and a long day as well. I fixed the flowers. I tried 2 of them. I had some leftover and I just made it a bit thinner, and I think it worked. Overall, I think it was a success. It looks good. It looks similar to the felt cake. Let's just say that I think I'm better at sewing cakes than decorating real ones. But I'm excited about how it came out. And the process was really fun. It was really fun learning and trying new things. And I think for the kids, it was fun as well, because it was a big project, but it was with like materials we never worked before. I mean, they bake with me sometimes, but that was like a big thing. So overall, a success and a good day. And tomorrow we're gonna taste it. You can come to my Instagram. I'm gonna share the inside of the cake and see how it hold up as well. Yeah, that's it. Let me show you the cakes side by side.